Hoping that welcome to Gentle Yoga. I know some of you getting the recording, so I'm hoping that we won't have too much background noise today, but I will just give you the little heads up that I'm having some work done in my house. My yoga studio is this little separate building, so I'm hoping that I don't hear the noise. But some of you know that I had this disaster of a leak in my house. I had a pipe burst, and oh, that was so not fun. And it's been months, and today's the day they're beginning to drill into the concrete to relay some new pipes. Supposedly they're making a trench today, but it's in the main house, so I hope we don't hear it. And if we do hear it, that's when we have to remind ourselves that we're yogis and we go with the flow to the best of our ability. All right. And so that being said, if you have blocks handy, have them nearby. It's always nice to have them. Have your water. And then I will ask you if you can hear the music. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear the music. No music. All right, so let me make that a little, Rochelle says a teeny bit. So let me make it a little louder. Maybe in between songs. Whoops. Technical difficulties today, girls. I'm going with the flow. All right. One more time. I promise we're going to get to yoga soon. Here it goes. All right. If it gets too loud for some reason, just let me know. Okay. Hopefully it'll come through. And I'm just going to figure all that off today. All right. So there's my space. There's Sasha. So Deborah, you can meet Sasha, my little yogi dog. She joins us at every class. All right. And so I heard a wonderful quote this week, and it really sat well with me. So I'm going to share it with you. Anybody familiar with the writings or the teachings of Eckhart Tolle, a wonderful thought leader and author? And he says that worry pretends to be necessary. Worry pretends to be necessary, right? And I think there's actually, hold on, there's a teeny bit more to that quote. So let me put it up here. Let's see. Okay, he says, worry pretends to be necessary, but serves no useful purpose. So I love that. Worry pretends to be necessary, but serves no useful purpose. And so I don't know if any of you are worriers, but I tend to be a worrier. But worrying is like praying for something that you don't want. And so I'm going to remind myself and remind you that this practice of yoga is the practice of health and well-being for the body and the mind. And when we are in a state of worrying, whether it's about stuff from the past or things in the future, what's going to happen, all those woulda, shoulda, couldas, right? Then we're not in the present moment. And so bring your hands to your heart center. Allow your shoulders to roll back and down, sit up nice and tall. And with the hands at the heart center, pressing the thumbs toward the sternum, perhaps you can start to feel the breath rising up into those thumbs. The chest lifts and expands a little bit on the inhale and softens and contracts back out on the exhale. So a few more breaths here, maybe even letting the chin relax down toward the chest to engage a little bit of a stretch in the back of the neck. So what you seek is seeking you. I actually have a beautiful necklace that has a pendant with that printed on to remind me all is well here and now. What you seek is seeking you. So seek those things you actually want, not the things you fear and worry about. Beautiful. And then let the hands come down to the floor. Start to crawl the hands forward, as far forward as what feels comfortable for you, and let the spine round over your lap. Right, so you're feeling this stretch in the spine. Take a few breaths here, just be present. Good. And then we're going to stretch out the side body a little bit. So lift your head up and walk your hands over to the right, and then settle yourself back down, folding in over that thigh. Maybe feeling a bigger stretch if you reach a little longer out of that left arm as the body is over to the right. Good. And then ground down through that right hand. So I'm opposite of you in this mirror image here. You can sweep that left arm up and lift the chin and chest and look up toward that left arm. Good. Grounding down through the right hand and creating more space on the left. So no pose should ever take your breath away from you. Make sure that you can breathe and breathe well. If you need to back out at all to breathe more efficiently, more effectively, then by all means do so. One more nice inhale here. And as you exhale, turn the head to look down toward the floor. Walk your hands back through center. And stop and pause in the middle. Take another breath or two here. There's a wisdom in moving slowly and taking your time, giving you the opportunity to not only be present, but to observe and learn what you need in this moment. When you feel ready, you can lift the head up, walking the hands over to the left as far as what feels comfortable for you, and then folding in over that left thigh, nose toward me. And remember, the operative word is toward. It's right. It is not a destination, just a direction. Reaching a little longer out of the right arm, awakening that right side of the body. And perhaps you're feeling it more in your lower back or your hips. Just be present to sensations and breathe. And then you can ground down that left hand out to the left side of your body. With an in-breath, sweep that right arm up, lift the chin and chest up. Yeah, opening that right side of the body just a little bit more. Good. Breath in and breath out. So good. Slowly turning the head to look down toward the floor, lowering the right hand and walking back through center. See if you can be willing to pause here again. Maybe you go a little deeper, trying to reach the fingertips further forward, but rooting and grounding the sitting bone so the tailbone is not lifting up off of the mat. Let your head go. Nice. And then walk your hands toward the body, slowly rolling yourself up. And let's come out of that left leg. So I'm going to keep the right one bent and just extend that left one out. Right, so if you're able to bring it out to the side a little bit, as opposed to in front of you, we're going to wake up the inseam of the legs. So start by noticing your posture, right? Are you feeling a little slouchy? Yeah, I just saw everybody kind of grow an inch or two taller. So roll those shoulders back and down, flex those left toes, and see if you can get that right foot to touch the inside of the thigh, perhaps. Yeah, good. Bring your hands to your heart center. With an inhale, reach the arms up. With an exhale, lower that left hand down to the left leg and just lean the body toward the left. Yeah, so similar shape to the pose we did with both legs folded in. You'll probably feel more sensation happening in the adductor muscles, the inseam of that left leg. Good, and you could always play around with the position of your arm or the position of your head. So you might turn the head to look down. You might lift the chin up a little higher. You might bend that right arm, bringing the hand to the back of the head, seeing if you can lean the head into the hand, opening the side body a little more. So we always like to encourage some curiosity, right? Some exploration. This is always your practice, your way, right? With an inhale, you can release that right arm up if it was bent and bringing the body back to center, lowering the right hand down, lift the left one up and soften that right elbow, leaning the body to the left. All right, so you might stay right here, or you could see if you have the ability to lift that left sitting bone up, lift that right sitting bone up and prop up onto that right shin. By really stretching out the entire left side of your body. Good. So a little strength here of the core. Good. One more breath. And as you exhale, slowly sweeping everything down, lowering everything down. Good. And switching sides so you can lean back into the hands and fold the left and extend the right. We're going to take that same simple sequence, but start by sitting up tall, right? And your width of extension doesn't need to be as wide as mine. Find the place that feels comfortable, hands to the heart, shoulders back and down, breath flowing freely. With an inhalation, reach the arms up. Exhale, that right hand comes down, that right leg, and we lean the body toward the right. Oh, good. It's amazing that the shape is so similar, but the sensations are very different. And so take this opportunity to explore a little. Maybe look toward that right leg. Maybe lift the chin up and gaze toward the elbow crease or the fingers or the palms on the left. Yeah, maybe bending that left elbow, finding the back of the head. See if you can lean the head into the hands, opening the side body a little more. Good. Acknowledging your ability to breathe. Good. And then slowly, if that arm is bent, inhale, straighten it up to the ceiling. And exhale, bringing the body back to center, lowering the left hand. Reaching the right one up, soften that left elbow and lean the body to the left, stretching out the right side. All right, so same option as we did on the first side. You might lean forward a little, lifting up that right hip, lifting up that left hip, popping up onto that left shin, and really elongating. See if you can ground down through the right foot and reach through the right fingertips. Oh, good morning, right side body. Nice. One more breath here. And exhale, slowly, slowly sweeping everything down. Good. Leaning back into the hands again, bending the right so both soles of the feet come together, centering yourself. Good. Squeeze shoulder blades. Lift the heart, maybe the head leans back a little and the chin lifts up a little. Relax your jaw. Good, soften the muscles of the face, no tension there. Beautiful. And then we're gonna keep that left hand on the floor behind you. With an inhale, reach that right arm up. Good, and once it kind of comes toward the midline of the body, bring that right leg over and with you. Stack your knees. And then bring the right hand to the floor behind you, next to that left hand, and look over the left shoulder. Yeah, looking good. So the knees are stacked right on top of one another to the best of your ability. There's a big sensation in the oblique muscles here. So we're gonna take it a couple of times on each side so you can get a really good feel for it before we transition. All right, so on an inhale, lift that right arm up again. As it passes through the midline, let that right knee lift up, right? So coming back to that butterfly position, lowering the right hand down, and then we're gonna take it on the other side. So we inhale the left arm up, and then as we come to the midline, we start to stack those knees. That left knee follows along. That left hand comes to the floor behind you as close as you can to the right hand, turning the head to look over the right shoulder, getting a nice twist in the midsection of your body. Good. And then we're gonna come out and take it to the other side again. So move with your breath. Inhale, left arm up. Open the knees, coming back to that butterfly here. And then shifting sides, right arm up, stacking the knees. Just make it kind of rhythmic and smooth. Right, let's see, we can stay here for a breath or two. Inhaling that right arm up. Exhaling, coming back through the midline, and then inhaling left, taking it one more time on the left side. Hands to the floor, gaze over the right shoulder. So good. And then inhale, left arm up, come back to the center and pause here, butterfly pose. Good. And then pushing down into the outer edges of the feet here, you might see if it's possible to lift the hips up a little, right? Maybe that's available, maybe not. It's all good. One more breath. And exhale, lower those hips down. Good, sitting back up. And let's see how we feel extending both legs out at the same time. So right leg out to the right and left leg out to the left. That V shape, right? You can be a big wide V. You could be a narrow V, right? Take it to what feels comfortable. You can always put blocks underneath the knees. Yep, I see Deborah taking a little good use of her props. All right, hands come to the heart center, sit up tall, flex the toes. Good, point the toes to see the difference, right? Wake up the back of the leg, wake up the front of the leg, take a few cycles. Hopefully I'm hearing the drilling. Hopefully you're not hearing the drilling too much here. Good. That drilling means that I'm going to have running plumbing to my master bedroom soon. That will be very exciting for me, right? Right? What you seek is seeking you. So we can be aggravated by things that go on around us. We can worry about things that are going to be, or we can just be. On an inhale, reach the arms up. Good. Interlace those fingers, all but the pointer, and just take a little lean over to the right. How that feels. Yeah. Good. And inhale, center. Exhale, lean to the left. If this is too challenging for you, you could always sit yourself on a block. We're going to go one more time each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Maybe you go a little further. Not necessary, but maybe. Inhale, center. And exhale, leaning to the left. So good. Inhale, center. Exhale, release. Good. Bring the hands to the back of the knees. Lean back a little bit and then bringing those legs together, softening the knees, soles of the feet flat on the floor, and see if you're able to hold on, giving your shins a hug. You could always hold on one hand on each shin if that's what you need. Bring your chin down to your chest and give yourself a little love right here. Good. Nicely done. And then we're gonna lift that chin up and we're gonna shift ourselves into a tabletop position. All right, so hands and knees. If you need padding for underneath the knees, go ahead and grab a towel or a cushion, whatever it is you use, yeah. And then I'd like you to find your center. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, fingers spread wide, good. And then just kind of rock forward and back a little bit. So you can wake up the wrists a little bit, maybe the lower back a little bit. You might come kind of far forward so you really feel a good stretch in the forearm. Or you might come really far back so you're almost in a child's pose. Yeah, just maybe 2 or 3 times here. Beautiful. And then coming back to your center, we're gonna extend your left leg straight back behind you, right? So I'm gonna come out to the side for a moment so you can see. Left leg straight back behind you, good. And then pause and breathe here. We're gonna shift that left leg out to the left and place it down. So look to see that your hip and your knee and your ankle are all in one line to the best of your ability. So it's not too far forward and it's not too far back. It's all the way perpendicular to the body. And then I want you to find that rocking action again, a little forward and back. Ooh, okay, there's that inseam of the leg. But every time we change the orientation of the pose, right, then it changes the sensation that we find there. Good. And then find that position where maybe you feel the most sensation. So you might stop at like a halfway point. Some of you might be able to bring the hips all the way back to the heels and let the toes pop up, maybe, right? Letting the head go. So it's kind of like child's pose on the right and an extension of the leg on the left. Big sensation. If it doesn't feel comfortable to go all the way back, stay at a halfway point or a 3/4 of a way point. Just letting that left side open up. Good. And then when you're ready, lift your head up, rocking back to center. So the knees, the hips are over the knee. Yep. And then walk your hands toward that right thigh and see if you can rise on up to standing on that right shin. That left leg is out to the left. Good. Hands come to the heart. Beautiful. Maybe for a moment you bring your hands to your hips or your belly and just kind of notice here if you are lifting the tailbone out too much or if you're tucking the pubis bone too much. Kind of find a neutral place, but the belly should be active. So the navel is drawing toward the spine so that you stay really stable in your core. That's what gives us balance, all right? With an inhale, sweep those arms forward and up. Good. With an exhalation, lower that left hand down, that left thigh, and then lean the body over to the left. Yeah, so it's like a similar pose that we've done over and over again. Each orientation feels different. How's your breath? Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Next inhale, that left arm comes up to meet the right. And exhale, bring the hands back down to the mat. And now we're gonna walk our hands over to the right, all the way around to the right. The legs stay the same. That right hand is gonna come to the floor on the outside of that right thigh. Right? Bring that left hand to the left hip and then roll that left shoulder open. Yeah. All right, so you can use a block underneath this right hand here if you need. Left arm can reach up toward the ceiling. Oh, good. And maybe even that left arm extends over the head, bicep muscle by the ear. Good. Lots of balance here, right? This is like a modified version of Ardha Chandrasana, a standing half moon. So if you wanted to play a little more here, you could lift up that left foot. Maybe you just kind of play around with the balance. Maybe the left foot comes up off the mat an inch or two. Maybe you lift it up so it's hip height, see how it feels. If you're lifting that foot, flex it like crazy. So the toes come in toward the shin and the leg is strong, muscle is hugging onto bone. So good. One more breath. Good. Lower the foot down, lift that left arm up, engage the core. See if you can come up on the fingertips of the right hand. Yeah. And then really taking a lot of the weight off of that right wrist. Beautiful. Use the strength of your core to rise back up. Woo, good. Hands come to the heart and slowly hands come down to the floor again, and that left knee comes to meet the right. Come into child's pose. Head to the floor, belly over the thighs, knees could be wide or close or somewhere in between. Good. Take a couple of good breaths here. Pausing, maybe noticing the difference between the left and the right side. What keeps you in the present moment? Observation of body, observation of thoughts, attention to the breath. And now lift that head up. Good. And rock the body back into your table. And we're going to take that same sequence on the opposite side. So extend your right leg straight back behind you. You might stay there for a moment or two, circling through that right ankle. And when you feel ready, you're going to extend that right leg out to the right and place it down. So take your time looking at your alignment. So you want to try to have that leg perpendicular to the body, the hip, the knee, and the ankle all in one line so the foot's not too far forward or not too far back. Good. And then we get to rock again. Oh, just feeling sensation, right? What you seek is seeking you. Today, I know I am seeking presence, positivity, right? Not worrying. That worrying somehow pretends to be necessary. I love that quote because it makes me laugh. It's like, oh yeah, somehow my mind thinks it's important for me to be concerned or worried about what might happen next. So here and now, right? If you're able to, you might bring it a little further back. You can come into that half child's and half side lunge, right? Maybe the toes pop up on the right foot and the head relaxes down. Maybe you're not fully in child's pose on the left. Just take what serves you. And take at least 3 breaths here. When you're ready, lifting the head up, lifting the hips up, grounding that right foot down. And when the knees below the hip, walk the hands back toward that left thigh and rise on up into gate pose prep. You guys look so good. Put a smile on your face. This is a beautiful moment. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, right hand comes down that right leg and we lean the body to the right. Oh, hello, left side body again. It's like, you're familiar, right? I've felt those sensations before. Are you strong in your core, keeping you stable and balanced? Beautiful. Use an inhalation to lift that right arm up. And an exhalation to bring both hands down toward the floor. And then we walk those hands around to the left. And when that left hand is perpendicular to the body, ground it down. Bring the right hand to the right hip. and roll that body open. See if you can stack that right shoulder on top of the left, and maybe this is enough for you right here, and you stay. If you want to take it further, that right arm reaches up. Maybe it extends over toward the front of the top of the head, bicep muscle by the ear. Lots of maybes here, yeah? Maybe you feel stable enough to flex those toes and lift that foot up, creating some balance. Maybe you find your way to a hip hike, or maybe you're like, no, just a little inch or two is perfect for me today. And I think we can use our breath as a gauge, right? Our breath tends to shift. It gets shallow or rapid when we're anxious or worrying. So ease the breath. Use it as an indicator. Good. Slowly lower that foot down. Good. And see if you can get light on those left fingertips, right? Really activating the core. And then rise on up when you're ready. Yeah, I saw that urge to rise up. That's so good. Exhale, hands to the heart. Beautiful. Slowly lowering the hands down, bringing that right knee in, and find your way to that nice child's pose. So remind yourself also that child's pose is not always so yummy and inviting for everybody. If it doesn't feel available for you, you can be in any version of a resting pose here. Maybe it's more of a puppy pose with the hips up. Can you let your head relax and your jaw relax and just take 3 nice breaths? Beautiful. And then with an inhalation, lift that head up. Extend those arms forward, ground down the hands, lift the hips away from the heels. Good, rock yourself forward a little, tuck your toes under and press back into your first downward facing dog. Good, I'm gonna turn myself around so I get a better view of you guys here. So first downward dog of the day, well, first downward dog of the class anyway. You can bend and press or keep the knees soft the entire time. And hips high and head low. Just feel the body. Beautiful. And then let's look forward toward your hands and slowly walk your feet toward the hands, finding yourself in a forward fold. So I like to have my feet hips distance or wider for my first forward fold always, right? Judge for yourself. How open are your hamstrings? How do you feel here? So choose a position for your hands. You can keep the fingers on the floor. You can hold on to calves, letting the crown of the head come down. You can grab opposite elbows here. Good. Take 3 breaths. After that third exhalation, you're gonna bring your fingers to your shins and inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Hold the shape of your body, but don't hold your breath. Let the exhale come out. So we're gonna take 2 or 3 breaths here, maybe rocking some weight into your toes, drawing the shoulders back and down, pulling the navel to the spine, right? Feeling this distribution of weight. 1 more breath in, and exhale, fold in deeply. Good. Soften your knees. With an inhale, sweep the arms out to the side and slowly rise on up. Good, and exhale, draw the hands to the heart, just adjusting my screen there. Good, pause and breathe. Beautiful. So a very sweet sun circle here. or a sun salutation salute. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, soft knees and swan dive into a forward fold. Maybe the knees straighten a little more once the head comes down, maybe not. Halfway lift, fingers on shins. Inhale, lengthen that spine. And exhale, fold. Good. Sweep the arms out again. Soft knees to rise on up. Gather up all of that goodness. Yeah. And draw the hands to the heart. We're going to take that one more time. Remember, what you seek is seeking you. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Beautiful sun circle. Exhale, swan dive and forward fold. Good. Fingers to your shins. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Good. Sweep those arms out. Rise on up. Right. What you are seeking, draw it right here to your heart. Beautiful. Pause and breathe. Samasthiti. Inhaling. And exhale. Beautiful. Hands to the front of the thighs. And soften the knees. Slide the hands down the front of the thighs as you come into a forward fold again. Beautiful. Once you're in that forward folded position, fingertips to the floor and step your left foot back. We're coming into a warrior two. So the right heel should be lined up with the right heel or arch-ish. Yeah, bend into that right knee and then rise on up. Left arm back and right arm forward. Good. So play around with your alignment here. Good. Let's pump our warrior a little bit. I think it's a nice way to get kind of juicy in the hips and the thighs. With an inhale, straighten the right leg, reach the arms up. With an exhale, bend into that right knee and sink back into your warrior two, gazing at that right middle finger. Let's take two more pumps. Inhale, straighten right leg, arms up. Exhale, sink back down. Maybe you feel a little bit more stable. Inhale again, arms up, legs straight. And exhale, bend back into warrior two. Beautifully done. All right, bring your hands to your hips. And then take that right hand on that right thigh. Right? And if you have a block, by the way, nearby, I'm going to grab mine. If you have a block nearby, it's a really good idea to have it to the outside of that right thigh. If you don't have a block nearby, it's okay. You don't need one. All right. So that right hand on that right thigh, I want you to start to lean the body, sliding that right hand down, 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 down. And see if you can make your way first into a Parsvottanasana. So the forearm, or maybe the hand is on the thigh if you need, or maybe the forearm is resting on that right thigh. Yeah. I'd like to keep that left hand on the left hip. Roll that left shoulder open, just like we did when we had the knee down on the floor. Yeah, good. And now maybe you can take that right hand and find your way to that block, or maybe to the floor. Yeah. Good. And then keep rolling that left shoulder open. Maybe you can release that left arm up toward the ceiling. Good. Beautiful. So it doesn't matter if the hand is still on the thigh or on a block. Yeah. Do the best you can. So Bonnie, see if you can bring your right hand to the outside of that right thigh instead of the inside. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I like it. She's got books, I think, there. Perfect block substitute. Beautiful. Now, bring your left hand back to your left hip and see if you can lift up your left heel. Lift up your left heel. So, yeah, good. So you're going to feel more weight going into the right foot, yeah? And then some of you might be able to put more weight into that right foot and float that left leg back behind you. This is Ardha Chandrasana, not an easy place to be, right? But essentially we were there already, except we had our right knee down, yeah? So you can keep just the heel lifted,
Or maybe you float that leg up there, play around with it, right? The final expression of this posture would be lifting that left arm up to the ceiling, right? I'm a little wavering here myself today, so I'm gonna keep my left hand on my left hip, yeah? When you're ready to come out, soften that right knee, lunge that left foot back. Woo, use an inhale to rise back up. Hands to the hips, straighten the right leg, turn the right toes to be in line with the left. So you're in a nice, wide-legged stance. Woo, yeah. Ardha Chandrasana, oh, the layers are peeling off. Yeah, that'll keep you warm for sure. Core, balance, strength for sure. All right, with an inhale, sweep your arms out and up. And exhale, bring the arms out like wings and just pause here in pentacle pose. Right, nice big 5-pointed star. Good, breath in and breath out. Nice. All right, inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, forward fold with the wide legs, bringing the hands to the floor, making sure the toes are in slightly, heels are out slightly, right? Hands can be on blocks or the mat, and you can just kind of like take a little side lunges here, maybe bending left knee, drawing hips to the left, and vice versa, called Skandasana. Yeah. Good. And then center yourself and start to walk your hands around to the left, turning the left toes out. So you find that warrior two position on the other side, facing toward the back side of your mat, right? So bend into that left knee. Good. And rise on up when you're ready into warrior two. You girls look gorgeous. And strong warriors. So I would much rather be a warrior than a worrier. Yeah. All right, so let's pump that warrior here. Inhale, left leg straightens, arms reach up. And exhale, bend back in. We've got 2 more. Be present to sensations. Inhale, straighten leg, arms up. Exhale, bend back in. Good, 1 more, inhale, straighten leg, arms up, and exhale, bend back in, good. Now we're gonna bring that right hand to the right hip, start to lean the body forward, bending that left arm, maybe that left hand is on the left thigh, maybe that forearm is on the left thigh, good. Remember, if we're using blocks, we wanna have that block to the outside of that left foot, so we can decide, we can stay here in a Parsvottanasana, right? That would be enough, no worries, right? Or maybe you wanna bring that left hand to that block on the outside of the left foot. Keep rolling that right shoulder open. You can keep the hand on the hip, or you can extend that right arm up. Yeah, good. So if I'm gonna come into Ardha Chandrasana, that standing half moon, I like to keep my right hand on my right hip for stability, and then just see if you can start to lift that right heel. When you lift that right heel, you get more weight coming into that left foot, and then you might even just start to see if you can float that right leg up behind you. Right? Maybe it's available, maybe not. Remembering that the final action of this posture would be to extend that right arm up to the ceiling. Any level of this sequence is perfect for you. Yeah, any level that works for you. Good. And when you're ready to come out, you're gonna soften that left knee. If that right foot is floating, place it back down. Use an in-breath to rise back up, straightening both legs, hands to both hips, turn left toes to be in line with the right. Woo, yeah. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, pentacle pose, arms out like wings, spread the fingers. Just feel yourself taking up space. 5-pointed star. Beautiful. On an inhale, arms reach up. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Forward fold again with wide legs. Relax the jaw, let the head go. Maybe taking a little Skandasana stretch from side to side. Maybe you notice the inseams of those legs are a lot more supple than they were in the beginning of practice today. Good. And then starting to walk your hands around to the right, turning the right toes to face the front of your mat, and left foot steps up to meet the right. Good. Bend your knees and just pop a little squat. You can let the heels come up. Good. Pausing there. Maybe testing a little bit of your balance here. Lifting the head up. Keeping the fingertips down, or maybe even bringing the hands to heart center. Seeing if you can get the crown over the tail, the knees coming down toward the mat. Balance. Same strength in the core. Same attention to breath and present moment. So good. And then slowly release the hands and lower yourself down onto your bottom. Oh, so good. And from here, we're going to use a little bit of our core to make our way down onto our backs. So hold on behind those thighs, draw the shoulders back and down, lift the heart up. Right, little Navasana boat pose prep. And then you can slowly, slowly release the hands if you wish, or hold those hands the whole time. And unraveling really slowly down onto the mat, like one vertebra at a time. Woo, I know the desire to plop is there. Once your head touches down, reach the arms up and over the head and extend your legs nice and long. Oh, yes. The joy of resting on your back here. Good. So point the toes, reach through the fingers, take a really good stretch. And as you exhale, hug that right leg in, chin a little bit down toward the chest, flex the toes. And then we're gonna switch sides. Inhale, right leg extends, arms reach up. And exhale, left leg hugs in, mindful. One more time each side. Inhale, leg straightens, arms reach. Exhale, we hug the right one in. Inhale, everything extends. Exhale, we hug the left one in. Beautiful. So keep that left one hugging in. We're going to come into a nice supine twist. So left arm will open out to the left. And I like to shift my right leg slightly toward the midline, right? Or slightly over to the left. And then encourage that left knee to cross the midline of the body. So it comes over to the right, turning the head to the right if it's, to the left if it's comfortable for your neck. And just pause and breathe. If this supine twist is not comfortable for you, you could always do a stack knee twist, right? Modify and adjust. Remember, health and well-being for body and mind. 2 more really good breaths. So well done. Slowly coming out of the twist. Center the body, extend that left leg long, arms reach up, stretch again. Exhale, hug the right one in, and we slowly make our way to the supine twist on the opposite side. Left leg shifts slightly over to the right, right knee crosses the midline of the body, and head turns to the right as that right arm opens out to the right, and find your conscious breath. Good. In your own way, in your own time, making your way out of the supine twist, centering the hips, legs, head, extending legs down, reach the arms up and over the head. And this time we're gonna hug both knees in. Rock and roll side to side. Maybe lifting the head and the chest, creating yourself into a little tiny ball that feels good for you. Beautiful. And then slowly releasing head and chest. And let's come into Supta Baddha Konasana, but reclined butterfly pose. So keep the knees bent and feet come down to the floor, and then the knees relax open, the soles of feet together. Good. Arm position up to you, maybe out like wings, maybe coming up into a cactus shape, maybe bringing the hands up and over the head, grabbing opposite wrists or hooking fingers or elbows. Good. And now find the freedom of breath. If you don't have freedom of breath in the shape that you are in, adjust the shape that you are in. Good. So conscious awareness of what it is you are seeking, what it is you are focusing on. Perhaps they are not the same. Giving yourself an opportunity to create a shift if needed. Beautiful. When you are ready, releasing the arms, bring the hands onto your torso. If you need help closing the legs up, you can use your hands, bringing the knees together and then slowly extending the legs down your mat. Make your feet a little wider than your hips. Good, and just take a moment here to keep the hands on the torso. One on the belly, one onto the heart space. And just feel the rhythm of your breath. Being here and now. And you can continue to keep the hands there if you wish, or perhaps finding the hands releasing from the body, palms face upward, coming into a traditional Shavasana shape. Feel the parts of your body that are touching the ground beneath you, that foundation, that support system. So I am a firm believer that we all need some support. So whether we seek it out in friendship, in yoga, in reading something where we gain knowledge and information, what you seek is seeking you. So we're going to come into this quiet and still space for about a minute or two. And when you feel ready, perhaps keeping your eyes closed for just a moment or two longer, you can start to wiggle your fingers or your toes. And see if you can bend those knees and rock over to the side, and in your time, come back to a seated position, keeping this beautiful, sweet, calm, maybe the eyes still stay closed if you feel comfortable. Coming into a seated position, Sukhasana, just like we began. Coming full circle at this moment. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart center. Om Shanti, 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 He. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. So if we are seeking peace, we are bringing those thoughts to the forefront of our attention. Remember that worrying only pretends to be necessary. It really, truly isn't. Thank you so very much to each one of you for coming out to practice with me today, for sharing your beautiful energy with me and with each other. It is my greatest honor to guide you through this ancient and most magical practice that we call yoga. Wishing you a terrific Tuesday. Namaste. So if you can hear the beautiful chant that's going on in the music, that is Loka Samusta Sukhino Bhavantu, which means all beings, may all beings be happy and free. So worry-free is the way I'd like to be. So thank you so much. Deborah, it was lovely having you here.
It was great. Thank you, Amy.
You're so welcome. So
I'll be back.
I teach this class every Tuesday at 11. I'd love to have you again. I also teach a slow flow on Wednesday mornings, which is a little bit stronger, kind of a little bit more dynamic. And this is gentle. Yeah. And so also, I wanted to let you guys know that I have a special event. I don't know if you guys got my newsletter, but I have a special event coming up, not this Thursday, but next Thursday. It's an evening class of meditation, learning how to meditate with mantras and malas. So if you would like a little, if you have any interest and you'd like a little education, a little information and experience in meditation, I love this form of meditation because it doesn't require us to sit still or be quiet.
Love it.
right?
Oh, okay.
Mantra is chanting. You can use your voice and you can turn off your sound so
Oh, I
nobody
love
has to
that.
hear you. Because it is on Zoom, and it's learning how to meditate with malas. If you don't have one, I can lend you one. So I have tons of them that I can share. We could always meet up somewhere and I can lend you one. So that's next Thursday evening, not this week, next week. I think that's the 17th, 18th. I have to look at the date.
Yeah, Jen sent me all the information.
Oh, great. So great. All right. So great, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank
You can
you,
always
Amy.
reach
You
out. I'm
too.
here if you
Thank
need me.
you.
All right. Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
Amy.
Have a great day.